Welcome back to Run the Prompts, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about something very, very special. We're going to be talking about Midjourney's new image editor and what you can do with it. And I want to give you some ideas on how you can use this for good and take your horrible, horrible designs that you're making in Midjourney and make them awesome. It's going to be great. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you happy. It's going to make you sad. Let's get into it. As you can see right here, guys, we have this beautiful Midjourney creation. This is Shit Motel. And you know what? I like it, but I don't love it. I want to make it a little bit better. It's just not quite there yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Midjourney's new editor right here with the editor button. So click on editor and there we go. As you can see, we are getting closer and closer to a full-fledged design tool, not just an AI image generator. And this might be the direction that Midjourney's headed, and that's exciting. If it can become another, I don't know, maybe I'm not going to say Photoshop, but even if it could get somewhat to the level of like Canva in terms of image editing capabilities, hey, this is going to be a great tool for anybody who's not only a designer, but not a designer, someone who just likes art in general, wants to create something for their wall. So we're in here, and the first thing we're going to do is we want to generate a man in a suit right by this door. Okay, and just to make it a little bit better, we're going to make sure the man is taller than the door so that the door looks really, really small and the man looks very, very tall, and the man wouldn't even be able to get into this motel if you wanted to. So let's do that right now. Let's go to the erase tool up here, and we're just gonna erase. Doesn't have to be perfect. Keep that in mind. Does not have to be perfect. So that's gonna be our dude. Ignore what the prompt is there. I've been messing with this image, so that's not correct. So I'm gonna copy and paste the prompt that I have ready to go for this example right here. I'm gonna paste it in. So we have a man standing in an extremely expensive suit holding a huge stack of cash. I found that the holding a huge stack of cash thing does not work. Midjourney does not like that detail. It just doesn't work. So I got rid of that, and now we're gonna go to submit. We're gonna go to close. Now it's gonna generate. So we got this guy right here. He's wearing a suit, so that's good enough for me. All right, guys, next what we're gonna do is we're gonna expand this canvas to a different aspect ratio. Now I know that sounds exciting, but it's actually a lot more exciting once you see what happens. So we're gonna go to the one that we kind of like, the guy standing in the suit. We could sit here and regenerate it for him for this to generate something perfect, but we're just doing some quick edits here for the sake of the example so you guys can see what this tool can do. So we're gonna go right back into the Midjourney editor, and we're gonna expand the canvas to 3:2. Okay, now just remember how user-friendly it was back in the Discord days, which was not that long ago, versus now. I mean, guys, you had to type in --AR by whatever aspect ratio you wanted to get a new aspect ratio. So it's so cool that you have all these options and can just do what you want quickly versus having to know all kinds of random stuff. So we're up in the tool. We got 3:2 as the new orientation. We do not have to type in anything here, so don't worry about that. We're just making the aspect ratio different than it is. So we're going to click on submit. And just like that, we have the same thing that we generated, only in a new aspect ratio. Very cool. And we can also see we have a dilapidated car and a bunch of more garbage, and we have some kind of shack over here. So looking good, looking good. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go back into the Midjourney editor tool, and we are gonna make this door bright green because white is just a little bit too nice for this motel. So we're gonna go to our brush tool here where you can make it bigger or smaller. I want it to be 70 pixels. By the way, guys, this goes up to 250 pixels, but let's choose 70 so we can get right in there and get this door. Again, does not have to be perfect. Unfortunately, there's only one shape you can make this tool, and that's a circle. I'm sure in the future, Midjourney will probably change that so that you can have a square tool or a star tool or whatever. They'll probably have a bunch of different shapes, and looking forward to that. So we're gonna go over here and we're gonna do bright green door. We're gonna click submit. Absolutely beautiful. We have this bright green door now. We have the dude that's way taller than the doors. Like, this is coming out really good. We have the expanded canvas. The editor tool has already given us so many cool things with this image, and things that we wouldn't have been able to do just on one prompt. We wouldn't have been able to get all these things right. That's what's so cool about this Midjourney Editor tool. So next up is something you could not do before in any way. So we're going to go back into the Midjourney Editor tool, and we're going to go to the scale option right here, and we're going to decrease it by 15%. So now we're down to 85% scale, and we're going to take this little handle tool in the center and we're going to move it over here. So now, again, don't have to touch the prompt box, don't worry about that. All this area around your image is now going to get magically filled by Midjourney, kind of like what we did when we expanded the canvas to 3.2 aspect ratio. So let's get out of here and see what it does. All right, so it added a little bit of pond, lake, water effect, whatever you want to call it. Expanded some cacti over here, looking better. I like it a lot. So let's go back into the Midjourney Editor tool, and we have the erase, and we're gonna make some ice covered mountains here because it's just looking a little bit too much like home here out in Arizona. Shout out to anyone else who's in Arizona. We're gonna get rid of these mountains here. We're gonna make them ice covered mountains. I hate snow, I hate ice, but you know what? This shit motel, I have a feeling that they're gonna like it. So we're going to generate ice covered mountains. As you guys can see, I'm not putting much time to make these prompts really great or really awesome or anything like that. This is just for the sake of the example, so you guys can see what this editor tool can do. So we're gonna click submit, and that didn't work. Okay, so there's something you guys gotta understand. When it comes to using in painting, which is what we do when we make things like the dude or like when we make the mountains, you got to keep in mind that it's not always going to work. So Midjourney has to be able to generate it, and sometimes if something is just way too out there and it has nothing to reference, then it's not going to work the way you want. But let's try to go back into that real quick. Hey everybody, so my manager just told me that I need to plug runtheprompts.com. I've personally never been there, but I heard it's a good place to go. You can find GPTs, whatever those are, at runtheprompts.com. You could also see really cool AI information, AI prompts, things like that. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, go to runtheprompts.com. You'll make my boss's day. His name is Dick Smith. He's a total dick. All right, guys, so we're going to go back into the Midjourney editor, and we are going to pan to the right. So we're going to go into the editor, and we are going to pan to the right. So we can just grab this like so and pan as much as we want. We want it right about here. That'll be good. Don't worry about the prompt, just click submit. With this editor, you can make it very, very precise. And that's what's so great about this Midjourney editor tool, is that it's so precise, you know? So like, it's combining actual art with AI art, and that's what makes it so fun. So we can see here that it did a pretty good job. Here are different options, and I like that one. So we're gonna go with that one. So we got panning so far. We have used the scale option. We've done the generate option where we generated the dude and the green door. We've changed the aspect ratio to 3:2, and now we're going to generate a better car for this dude, so he better thank me for this shit. We're gonna go here. He's about to get the ride that he's always wanted. So we're gonna generate something right here where the jalopy used to be. Doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't even really have to be the shape of a car, so don't get too crazy. But we're just gonna, for the sake of it, make it a little bit like a car. And now we're gonna do extremely expensive midlife crisis red convertible sports car. Clean, shiny, brand new. Let's see what happens there, guys. Okay, so this one or this one kind of works a little bit. I mean, as you can tell, the scale is way off. This is like a clown car to this guy, but it kind of matches the ship motel with the tiny door. So we kind of got something going here. I like this one, so I'm gonna keep it. That one works pretty well. So now it looks like the dude rolled up somehow in an extremely expensive car right there to the ship motel and realized that wasn't quite what he thought it was. Not exactly the place he wanted to go. So, all right, guys, so we basically have our work of art here. This has really improved a lot since it began. I mean, it began as something beautiful, but now it's something remarkable. So there's just a couple other things here in the editor tool I wanted to show you before we get on out of here. So there's a couple buttons up here. Let's say we wanted to generate something right here, and then we wanted to go like that and like that. There are a couple buttons here. Right here, you can undo your last thing that you put into your art. And then if you want to redo it, just redo it. Or if you want to get rid of the whole thing and just reset it, you hit the reset button. Pretty crazy, right? So we have those buttons we went through. We went have the erase button, obviously we've done. We've gone through the scale tool. We've gone through the aspect ratios. We've gone through the brush. The only thing I haven't shown you is the restore. It's probably exactly what you guys would think, right? Let's say that we get rid of this. It's the opposite of the erase tool. So this is really good if you want to make really specific selections. You can go like that. So pretty basic stuff, but still a big step in the right direction, and putting all these tools all into one place, I think is a really good idea. I like what Midjourney is doing here. I like what kind of strategy they've got going on. So if you guys enjoyed this video even a little bit, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, because my dog wants these subscribers. Okay, he's been really telling me that he wants them, so you got to do it. You got to do it. So be sure to run the prompts and prompt the planet, and I'll see you guys later.